Yo, what's up everybody? It's your host Molly here. Today's video, I'm going to be giving you a tattoo tour slash the meanings of the tattoos that I have. So, fun fact about me, I have two tattoos, one on my ankle, the other on both my wrists. The one on my ankle is the first one that I got. I got it last August. So the tattoo on my ankle is a heart with the number 13 below it. So my favorite number is 13. It's a number that has meant a lot to my family because my late grandfather, his favorite number was 13. I'm not really sure why. He just really loved it, and I unfortunately never got to meet him, but he was very loving. I've heard good words on him. He was full of life and everything. And whenever it comes to the number 13 in my family, specifically my dad's side, we take it to heart. And it's also the reason why my birthday is on the 13th. I was also born on a Friday. And I miss my grandfather. I mean, even though I never got to meet him, it always has felt like he's been a part of my life, especially since I was born on the 13th because of him. So the 13 part is from a necklace that he had. I wanted a heart, but I didn't want just like a simple looking heart. I wanted it to be unique looking. So I literally went on Google and I looked at different heart designs, and I found one that caught my attention because it had like a loop. And like usually when I draw hearts, I like to add like a loop. I thought that it looked pretty, and I feel like if things are in like a knot or like a loop, it's hard to get out of. And I had to think for a while about how I wanted it to look because like I had like more than one idea. I knew that I wanted the 13 from his necklace because I didn't just want any random 13. I really wanted one that I knew was in remembrance of him, and I figured it out eventually. And that's very important to think about when you're getting a tattoo, for sure. So this tattoo mainly represents my family, my grandfather, my favorite number, my life. The reason that I got it on my ankle is because number one, it was my first tattoo, so I was hoping to God that it was going to look good, but in case if it didn't, I wanted it somewhere where it wouldn't easily be seen. But also, I like ankle tattoos. I think they look pretty cool, and I always wanted one of some sort. Another way that I look at it is your ankle is connected to your foot, and I feel like my grandfather has always been with me everywhere I go. And when I think about it, my feet get me everywhere I need to go. And since my ankle's connected to it, it's like every move I make, everywhere I go, no matter the direction, no matter what point in life, my grandfather is always with me. And I wanted to get this tattoo for quite a while, but since COVID happened, I had to wait a bit because I didn't want to get it just by myself. I wanted someone with me. And my dad and sister came along with me. They weren't like with me while I was getting it, but they like came with me to the appointment, and I thank them much for that. And my artist did amazing. It didn't really hurt that bad. Like if I had to give it on a 1 to 10 scale, it would probably be like a 4 or 5. And honestly, everybody's pain tolerance is different, and with getting a tattoo, it depends on where you get it as well. But I wasn't in like horrible pain or whatever. There were some points where it was like, ooh, but it was not like I was like, I'm dying. But yeah, you know. My ankle tattoo took about like 15 minutes to get done. And here's the thing, I actually started to get emotional while getting it because of how it correlates to me. It was hurting a little bit, and I just started to think about like, why am I getting this? What does it mean to me? I've been waiting to get this one. And I literally started like weeping to myself. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I feel like I'm having like a spiritual moment of my grandfather, and I love that this has a lot of special meanings to me, and it's gonna be marked on me forever. And I was very excited to show my family, and when I did, they were like, wow, that is so amazing. After my tattoo was done, I looked at it and I said, yay, I'm a part of the club now. Like the club of people who have tattoos, and my tattoo artist was like, yep, you are. The next tattoo I got, which I got pretty recently, I got back in June, was the lyrics from Tomorrow from the movie Annie on both my wrists. I don't know if you would consider it a all-in-one tattoo or two separate tattoos, but to me, they are a together tattoo. I think intertwining tattoos are kind of cool too, so I wanted to have that kind of experience as well. I also think that wrist tattoos are pretty sick. So my friend Kara came along with me to support me and make me feel comforted. Here's something quite interesting too. When I told Kara that I wanted to get an Annie tattoo, she said, "Oh, it would be cool if you got lyrics from Tomorrow." And I didn't even like tell her that part yet. And I said, "Girl, that's what I wanted to do. I love that song and it has real meaning to me." And she was like, "Man, we are twins." I'm like, "Yeah, we think alike. What the heck? Like, how is that possible?" So that made me want to invite her along, as well as for my emotional support. And she was like, "I'd love to go with you." So Annie, specifically from 1982, has always been my favorite movie since I was a child. I've seen it so many times. I could probably quote the whole movie to you. And I feel like it's influenced who I am as I've grown up, and I never get tired of it. And about a year ago was when I thought about getting this specific tattoo. But Tomorrow has always been my favorite. It's just always resonated with me because I love the message of it. The lyrics are nice and the music is so pretty with it. But also the thing is, I sometimes have had bad mental health experiences, and I feel like that song just always brightens my spirits, and it just tells me that everything is going to be okay. I'm not going to be stuck in something dark for a long time, and I am strong. Nothing is ever gonna break me down. I also thought it was perfect timing with getting my wrist tattoos around the time of my graduation, since it was a big milestone and I wanted to give myself that way. I thought about getting it in like a couple different places, but I just figured my wrist because it's right there in front of me. I didn't really have any other ideas for a wrist tattoo, and I feel like if you're struggling on picking a spot, definitely go with the one that you feel in your gut. Like, even though you might be like, like, is there gonna be any other one I'd want? Like, don't stress about that. Like, whatever you want, just like get it. I mean, definitely have some careful consideration, but honestly, go with what you feel. And this is the one that I felt and feel great about. So I had to think about how I wanted the lyrics to be on my wrist, because I at first just wanted the word tomorrow on one of my wrists and then you're only a day away on the other, but it was gonna be a little bit off with how it looked. So I thought about it the other way of I love you tomorrow, you're only a day away, because I also loved that too. And when I did my consultation, they're like, yeah, that'll kind of make it look a little better and not like uneven. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's totally fine. I'm usually go with the flow, but I also want to make sure that I'll like it and it'll last long and look good enough. And I had to think about how I wanted the font to be. And I knew I wanted it to be in some kind of cursive, but again, I didn't just want it to be a simple cursive. I like to be very spontaneous, if you can't tell. And at the end of the movie, if any of you have seen it, it's the 4th of July and there's fireworks going off. And before the ending credits roll, they show Annie's name in cursive in like firework font, if you would call it. So I figured, oh my gosh, that would be so cool if I got them very close to that form. So I showed the people the picture of the Annie name in that firework font, and I said I would like the lyrics to be in that one, and they gave me a few different options, and I chose the one that I thought looked the best, and like they made it as close as they could get, and I was so happy that they did it. It's so amazing what tattoo artists can do. Oh my goodness. And I had the same artist that I had for my ankle because I'm a little bit of an introvert. The artist who did my ankle was so helpful and kind and understanding, and I just knew that doing my next one with him would be just fine too. My wrist tattoo took about a half hour to get done, and it pretty much felt the same pain-wise. Like, it really didn't feel that much different. Like, it was still about like a 5-ish. There were some parts that were more sensitive. It didn't feel like I had to wait so long to get out of it. I was completely fine. I definitely feel like my wrist tattoos are very useful because times have been a little bit stressful lately, and whenever I glance at them, it just reminds me that days are going to pass and the sun will come out, as the lyrics say. But yeah, that is my tattoo tour slash meanings of both of them. Comment down below if you have tattoos or what tattoo you would want to get. Thank you for watching, and and I'll see you next time.